is Lena, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my partner and I have been actively renovating our 100-plus-year-old home here in New Orleans, and it has been a journey so far. We so far have accomplished renovating our bathroom and our sunroom, and we're finally now to the point where we're ready to begin renovations on our kitchen, which, if you see behind me, it definitely looks like a state of chaos. It's definitely immeasurable. It's been the one project that Tyler and I have been super excited to get started with. It's been the one thing that, has been the most dysfunctional and overwhelming to cook with. We've been cooking with a single burner and don't have an oven. It's been a thing where we have definitely been sacrificing a little in terms of our meals and stuff. So we definitely are excited to get to the point where it's a little bit better. So starting today, we are beginning this project, and I imagine it's going to be a large project. There's a lot to do in here. We're going to be taking everything out, including, all the food and stuff, and then gutting it, and then doing all new flooring, all new cabinetry. It's going to be an ordeal. We are, as I've said in multiple videos, we are completely new at this. We've definitely learned a lot since beginning and buying our house, but it's definitely been a learning process for sure. We've learned so much, and it's just been great to read comments and share this journey with everyone. So if you haven't already, definitely be sure to subscribe. It means a lot to me and my channel as we continue to share these things. It's been super validating, and to feel the support of people who have been I've been there, you guys are doing great. Definitely continue to keep sharing. So that's what we plan on doing. Starting today, like I said, we're gonna clear it all out and see how far we get. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is what our kitchen looks like currently, and I'd say about 90% of this is tools and renovation equipment, and then the other 10% is this table that we would cook on, and then dried food that we had in the cabinets. But generally speaking, this room became more of a tool storage, things that we needed for the bathroom and the sunroom or the house in general, rather than an actual kitchen, just because it wasn't functional in any way, and we weren't really comfortable storing actual food in the cabinetry, just because it was extremely grimy and just not the cleanliest. And for that reason alone, I am excited to actually begin this process and remove everything and sort through everything, because it just really made me feel a lot better about the space, because I was really overwhelmed by this space, and it really took a toll on me personally to have such a cluttered surroundings. But regardless, we are getting this process done so that we can actually begin gutting things. Just like that, the room is empty. Well, mostly empty. You'll see behind me that there is the refrigerator in here still, and the reason for that is because it's super bulky and big. My plan originally that I suggested to Tyler was we just push it into the hallway, but actually looking at it, it's very deep, so it would take up the majority of the hallway. I'm actually trying to recall how the delivery men brought it in, and I don't remember if it was sideways or straight on. I don't know. But for now, we're just going to avoid moving it and just take everything out around it, and then just kind of deal with it later, since it's not strictly necessary right now to remove it. So we went ahead and removed everything from our kitchen. Our living room, our front room, is now our kitchen, and we are using our sunroom as our living room. So it's been a big ordeal to move stuff. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start removing these cabinets and take it from there. The one thing we were looking forward to during this demo process was actually removing these cabinets, and the reason for that is because we avoided using these cabinets for anything food related like it was the plague. These cabinets were extremely disturbing. They had like weird stains, they were falling apart, they were really smelly. I was taking these cabinets out to the garbage pile we had out in our yard, and the smell alone was very disturbing. They had been sitting in that room for I don't even know how long, to the point where there was like knob and tube wiring and water damage under the sink. There's just all types of things going on with these cabinets. So I think it is way beyond its due date for being replaced. You can actually see as Tyler's tearing this out like how easily and flimsy this wood was. It was like tearing apart without even brute force being used. We were extremely grateful to get this out of here. Just removing these cabinets alone, I feel like you could have called it a new kitchen just with that alone. But I will say too, like removing all of this stuff and actually getting access to the wall behind them, it raises even more questions, because you'll see that there's like layers of stuff on the walls where it's like linoleum, plywood. At one point there's like cardboard involved. I don't know, it just seems like there was some patching that occurred over the years and things were never properly fixed the way that it needed to be. But regardless, I'm extremely thankful that there wasn't more that we needed to demo, like tiling or anything heavier, because as we tore things out, we had to take it outside, and I'm just thankful that it wasn't worse than it was. Okay, so it is a new day, and I'm currently standing in our hallway. We covered the entrance to the kitchen with a door so our cat Glenn doesn't enter, just because of the amount of debris that we've made from tearing out the cabinets. And since then, it's been a couple days. We have been in there removing all of the baseboards and the trim. There's like quarter round in every corner and on the ceiling that I went around the room and I tore off, just because it's in pretty bad condition and some of the areas around it needed to be patched. So I went ahead and removed that and made those patches. I did it off camera just because it was like very tall ceilings, like we were sitting there moving my super tall ladder around and also sweating. When I started this video, I mentioned that there was that it was super hot, but we actually didn't realize that we were under a heat wave, and it is now a whole 10 degrees cooler today than it was last week when we were tearing out the kitchen. So I was like profusely sweating, and I was like, man, I've never like sweat like this in my life. Come to find out that it's like abnormal when we were like in a heat wave. It was like 100 degrees and the humidity levels were like off the charts. But anyways, that's what we've been doing. So today I'm going to go ahead and go in and finish mudding and taping some of the patches that I made. And I also wanted to mention something that we haven't said on camera yet, which is the kitchen was made of like the walls under the drywall had beadboard, kind of like our bathroom did. Like there was beadboard underneath the drywall, and unfortunately like it's just not in salvageable condition to continue to use it. But something that like Tyler and I really talked about is like, how can we do the kitchen in a way that is budget friendly and meets our design vision, like our goals? And the easy answer for me, especially after doing the bathroom, is beadboard, because I love the look. It's like period appropriate, right? Like there was already beadboard there prior. It's much easier than drywall. So what we plan on doing, kind of like in this hallway where you see it's like split, there's 2 levels. Well, this is drywall, but regardless, if you can imagine, the top half will have drywall and the bottom half will have beadboard. Even in place by the cabinets where instead of tile, it'll be beadboard, which I'll show this inspiration photo that I found on Pinterest. And I was like, this is exactly what I envision and this is what I want to do. You'll notice that everything that we tore out on the bottom half is getting prepared for us to go in and put in some beadboard. So let's go ahead and go in the kitchen and I'll show you what we've got going on. I also wanted to mention that these are actually the paint colors that we're considering. You can see them here and also some whites, and we're not sure which one we'll do yet, but I think we're leaning towards these right here. It's like really hard to pick paint colors, especially when you're trying to visualize it. So just narrowing it down to these is a feat within itself. But yeah, we're still trying to decide. So that pretty much concludes part 1 of our kitchen renovation series. That is us demoing our entire kitchen. It is ripping out the cabinetry, cutting part of the wall, discovering that we had unexpected water damage both on the floor and the wall behind the sink, which was, I say unexpected because it was a surprise to us. We didn't realize that that sink, because of the plumbing and the way that it was, like we didn't realize that the sink had been leaking for God knows how many years. So we had to unexpectedly like build out parts of the wall and parts of the flooring to accommodate for that, so we can have like a truly dependable clean slate. So yeah, it's been a thing. It's been a whole thing for us. I've talked about how we've been looking forward to ripping this kitchen out because it truly has impacted our day-to-day and the way that we live in our house. We haven't had a kitchen, we haven't used the kitchen. We've been so incredibly disgusted by the state of the kitchen before we gutted it. And also too, like, we love to cook, so it was like pretty difficult for us to go from having a kitchen to not really having a functional kitchen. It caused us to eat out a lot more than we wanted to. Obviously, it caused us to eat unhealthy, and it was just like a really big thing. So to finally be on the path where once you bring it down to the studs, like you're building it back up. Like you literally you can only grow from here, and that's exactly how we feel about this kitchen. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is only part 1, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I mentioned we have a dumpster that we're going to be getting, and that is going to be coming very soon. After demoing this kitchen, it's now time to get rid of this giant garbage pile that's been in our yard. So you guys can be on the lookout for that next. I will see you guys next time. Bye!